get a loss. So he's going to have to really buckle down in this one, on this game here on Antigua Shipyard. Okay. Over here in the upper right, we have our first Protoss player. Give it up for the incredible HuK. Meanwhile, in the bottom left, cross spots, down one game. He needs your support. Make some noise for Naniwa.
Well, you know, this is forced cross spots on this map, so they're going to know exactly where each other are. And that's going to help them out a little bit. You know, there can be proxies because of that, but, I mean, this matchup, we don't see that all that often anymore.
All right, so we got more and more probes being cranked out here. It's going to be a little bit of downtime as we sort of wait for this game to pick up. It is a map. Okay, so remember in the first game, we said you have to forgate. In this case, the ramp is small. You start out on a plateau, so you have more options.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't think that we will see any 4 gates here. If we do, it'll be a very technical 4-gate with a warp prism or something like that, but I don't think we're going to see that. This is a great map for more conventional, modern PvP builds, such as Blink Stalker with Observer or a Phoenix build.
So we have the gas geyser on the way now. Note they're making the pylons very close to the Nexus. They want to have as little travel time as possible when they're warping stuff in, because this is a matchup where you just don't get a lot of workers.
Yeah.
It's really tough. I mean, occasionally if you break free of the chains of early game, you can, but that's a very tough situation and a very rare situation at that.
Well, they are both synced up perfectly right now on absolutely everything. Neither player scouting at all, and then HuK getting that really, really quick second gas. Naniwa, no second gas quite yet.
All right, we have the Cybernetics core out now, or coming out now, halfway done. And you got to be careful in this matchup as well with how many times you chrono boost the Nexus. General of thumb, I mean, for instance, in a PvT, you'll be chrono boosting the Nexus the whole time. You don't even really need to put much thought in it. And occasionally you'll chrono boost an extra upgrade or this or that. In this matchup, it is not the case at all. You have every single chrono boost mapped out from very start to very finish.
Indeed you do. Now, Naniwa has gotten his second gas. It looks like he is going to go for a Blink Stalker Observer build. You know, Naniwa really has his builds mapped out very, very well. And for anyone who watched the MLG Global Invitational, you will have noticed that when he goes for just 1 gate, we're going to see a very quick Twilight Council from him, most likely.
Okay, one Zealot out here. I'm a little bit surprised he has this here and not over at the ramp.
And HuK actually added 2 gates, so there's a possibility that we are going to see a 3-gate expansion from HuK. That would be kind of interesting.
That would be.
Not something I really expect to see. You know, Hero is a player that uses that build sometimes, but the build, you know, it can be a little bit weak to someone who gets just a ton of units with a build like Naniwa's.
He may overstep his boundaries here. Definitely going to have to run from that.
Yep. Now, Naniwa has in his main base gotten a Twilight Council at this time, and he is going to add some more gateways, of course, as well. We will see a robotics in a little bit. Very rare to see just Blink Stalker builds nowadays. You really need that Observer as well so that you can blink into the main, see what their army's doing, and, of course, not get caught off guard by DTs.
All right, HuK is clearly going to be aggressive here, and when you do this Blink Stalker build, you got to be careful because actually it's very easy to get rushed if you're not reading your opponent correctly.
Well, HuK with his 3 gates pushing forward a little bit here now. But Naniwa is making 2 more gateways. As soon as he gets those gateways up, he will be okay. But HuK with 3 gates against the 1 gate of Naniwa. Naniwa could be in a little bit of trouble. He's teching very quickly here.
Okay, the Stalkers are moving up now. And this is actually a very dangerous moment. He will probably need a force field here.
And of course, HuK cannot even walk up that ramp. If he does, he gets trapped and killed by the superior units of Naniwa at the moment. So Naniwa looking pretty safe, getting his robo, getting his blink.
All right, so he's got the Stalkers out, so he will not actually continue to be aggressive. This is basically making it look like it's a 4-gate and then retreating.
Well, right now, HuK has got a lot of sentries. He's making his robotics and also an expansion. A smart move by him. You know, I'm sure he has studied the type of builds that Nanawa does, and this is very obviously a Blink Stalker Observer build by Nanawa. So what HuK is going to do is get out Immortals, Sentries, and just expand.
Well, you know, the style of build that Nanawa is doing is one where if he doesn't do damage in probably the next, 3 or 4 minutes here, he's going to get behind.
Absolutely true. But, he's getting a lot of Stalkers. His Observer is about to pop out. But he's got to be careful, of course. HuK has an Observer too, and any Observer sniping can end the aggression.
So, right now, Nanawa moving out. By the way, I find it interesting that HuK actually opted to put a pylon here if he wasn't actually going to attack.
Yeah,
that was a bit peculiar.
It's an interesting spot, and it's definitely going to die here in a second.
All right, so the pylon will go down. The Observer's moving out. Oh, we can have an Observer sniping. He sees it.
Oh, and he's going to want to chase that. He does have Blink, so he can get up there and take it out, and that's big right there. Nanawa taking out that Observer. Very well done.
Okay, Nanawa does have a supply lead, but HuK is
actually
in pretty good shape.
He hasn't made any Immortals, though. I'm actually really surprised by this. He's instead
God,
going straight for Blink. But he has 3 less Stalkers than Nanawa does right now. And, of course, his Observer gets sniped. He is making another Observer, but I feel like without the Immortals, he has no chance here. He doesn't even have Blink yet.
The Immortal, of course, you don't need to have the animation of the shot connect to the unit image. So that means the Stalkers basically can't dodge. If you watch the Stalker, shoots a laser, if the laser doesn't connect with the image portrait, the damage isn't dealt. So, okay, we're going to have him blink in. Get ready.
And a superior number of Stalkers going after HuK here. HuK is in a lot of trouble. Beautiful targeting on that pylon, trying to unpower whatever he possibly can. And, man, he just has more Stalkers right here. Will blink out if he has to. And there you go. He does blink out. And a beautiful force field right there. The blink cooldown not done for HuK, but he has less units anyways. A little bit of a bad positioning there by Nanawa. HuK getting some good surface area at the moment.
And now the probe's going to even come here and do damage if he wants. Actually, HuK's blink micro is superb.
Yes, it certainly is. He got great surface area there.
I think Nanawa might have just bungled this. There's no proxy pylon unless I'm just not seeing it here. So Nanawa is not going to be able to hold this.
Wow, the fact that, that was something else, Tasteless, that HuK held that. Nanawa made some very crucial mistakes with that rush. Going up to that Nexus in the mineral line was very
deadly. Did he forget these? I don't know.
No,
are those these Stalkers that killed the Observer? I'm not entirely sure, but that just, it's kind of a weird place to have Stalkers after this. I never saw a proxy pylon. I mean, you have to reinforce. HuK is just making stuff in his base. Of course he's going to end up outnumbering him.
Well, right now, Nanawa does have an expansion up. In fact, he has 33 probes to the 24 of HuK, and he does have an Immortal with his Stalkers. And he actually has more Stalkers than HuK. So the game will continue. He is winning by a bit.
Hitting the pylon now. It's a small thing that'll be a little bit of a distraction here for Nanawa. Nanawa is really in a tricky position. If we look at the probe count, though, HuK with an inferior number of probes. I had not noticed that until now, 29 to 39.
Well, looks like HuK may be thinking about getting aggressive, but that is not a good call right now. Nanawa is making Immortals, and Immortals are just so good against Stalkers right now with that +1 range. They hit them every single time. You cannot kite them whatsoever. So I feel like if HuK actually goes and does this attack, I mean, I don't think any force fields in the world can make him win it.
Well, one thing is that these Stalkers are out of position here. So they need to hurry down here right now. This very second right now. We have more Stalkers coming in here, blocking off the Immortals.
Oh, very cute move there, trying to take out this Nexus if he possibly can. A blink in by Nanawa, targeting things on beautiful force fields. And as soon as those Immortals get out, it's going to go very strongly in Nanawa's favor, so HuK is getting out of there.
HuK warping in a few more units. Some Zealots in this case. I'm on the same page as you are, Tosis. I just don't think that HuK should keep attacking.
Yeah, he definitely should not. He is behind at this point. Look at this, 21 supply lead for Nanawa. Look, 83 to 61 right now, 40 probes to 34, and we have a lot of Immortals out for Nanawa. The Immortals are just going to make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, the Immortals are so pivotal in stopping Blink Stalkers. So we have additional gateways here. HuK basically staying very low tier. And excuse me, we have a Twilight Council.
Another
Whoa.
Twilight Council.
What?
One,
2? Oh man, this is a mistake.
yeah, I would say so.
It's his sick double Twilight Council strat.
Getting charge and blink at the same time. Oh, I already got blink. What? Oh man, my timings are so off.
So HuK is going to be kicking himself when he realizes that he did that, because this is not a situation where they can spend money poorly.
Well, Naniwa right now is getting charge as well as a Templar Archive, so it looks like he wants to transition into Zealot Archon. No charge yet for HuK, despite the second Twilight Council. There we go. Templar Archives going up. Of course, right. Archon's very good against both Immortals and Zealots.
Archon's also very good at casting. We have the Stalkers now moving back. And you know, I think neither player knows who's in the lead right now. You know what I mean?
Well, the supplies certainly have gotten a lot closer, but I definitely do give a lead to Naniwa. You know, as long as he starts making some Archons, because there are a lot of charge Zealots coming out for HuK. Well, actually, he's just a lot of Zealots. He's not getting charged still, which is a little bit confusing.
All right, he's got a lot of Zealots now, and we'll see. I mean, the one Archon here is actually quite good, especially against any units bunched up. For instance, these Zealots here. All right, he's got to be careful, though. Oh, he's going to blink. Nice.
HuK, of course, blinking up for some harassment. Naniwa should be blinking.
He's going to try to catch him. He wants to catch him on the way out. Is it going to work?
And it looks like it will. These Stalkers in a lot of trouble, and taking out that Observer, beautifully done right there. And Naniwa going to be able to chase if he wants. He's got to be careful, though. More Stalkers on the high ground of HuK. And HuK is actually getting ready to take a third base. Still no charge, though. He's just making a lot of Zealots with no charge. Slow Zealots against Archons? I don't think so, Tasteless.
Yeah, I don't know about this. So right now, HuK with a little bit more map control, Naniwa in a bit of a defensive posture. Now, Naniwa did lose his robotics. I don't know if he's even going to make a new one with the way this game is panning out. So he's got to be careful, because this one Observer is all he's got.
That is quite true. HuK throwing down a lot of pylons, going to get his macro on. And of course, Naniwa does have some more Archons on the way. He's actually going to have 4 Archons with all those Zealots that have charge. I feel like HuK's army is just inferior.
I like what HuK's doing here with his Stalkers. Somewhat of a distraction. He's not actually paying attention. Naniwa is not to the base that the destructible rocks that might be open up down here.
HuK's still running around with those slow Zealots, but, you know, Naniwa is just going to catch him. Look at that, the Archons in the front. Beautiful Archons doing so much splash to HuK's Zealots. And the Zealots being spread out by both players as best they can be.
The Immortals in the back here are not quite doing as much damage as they could, but there is just too much Naniwa on the map right now, and that's going to be GG.
Wow.